Hey you guys, it's Megan. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video. If you guys would like to work together, check out the description link below. Would love to work with you. Also, please give this a thumbs up if you're feeling generous, as well as share and put a comment below. So you guys, let's talk about inner speech. Okay, we've heard about this, but what you're saying to yourself all day matters. What you're saying about yourself and what you're saying about the subject matters. It's shaping your outside world. It always has been that way and always will continue to be that way. So if there's something in your reality that you do not like right now, it is because of your inner speech. Okay, and usually that is, like I've said before, a very subconscious thing that's going on that sometimes you're not even aware of what you're saying. But if you really want to change your reality, you need to start being the observer of your speech, because everything we see in our reality is a manifestation already. Okay, so we want to start looking at it as that, not something that we need to react to or be scared of. Okay, so really want to get in the habit of realizing what we see right now in our 3D is just a manifestation already. It's already manifested out. So there's nothing to be scared about that. And we want to start seeing our observations of what our reactions are to those manifestations and see if we don't like those or not, because we can change those. If we truly listen to ourselves, are truly aware of our thinking, we will truly change our life. Okay, so we need to really get to the core of those assumptions that we are holding on to so dear, and those beliefs, which probably aren't even yours. They've been passed on to you from other people, and now you've adopted those to be your core beliefs in your reality. So if you have one core assumption, such as people don't commit to me, let's say that people don't commit to me, that's your core assumption. If you want a commitment, then circumstances will arise. So think of like an umbrella. So that umbrella's up there and everything is stemming from that umbrella, okay? Or like a topic sentence or a thesis statement in a paper. I used to be a teacher. Everything is stemming from that main idea, okay? So if the assumption is people don't commit to me, then your thoughts, okay, are going to say, look, this person's doing this because they don't want to commit to me. Oh, look, they're looking at their phone because they don't want to commit to me. Oh, look, they probably, they probably like not wanting to give me a title because they don't want to commit to me because I'm not commitment worthy. Okay, so if it's just stemming, that's just one example. There's so many different assumptions and beliefs that people hold at core, and that's what I'm here to help you through. But if you can really get to that core assumption, you can write that down, looking at different patterns in your life, then you're going to see like everything is stemming from that main assumption, and then that's being pushed out, and you're identifying that with your conception. So if you think people don't want to commit to you, like I said, you're going to get downloads in your brain. Okay, you're going to start perceiving the world that way. So anything that shows up in your reality, your mind's going to go to, oh, that's because people don't want to commit to me because I can't get a commitment. Right? If a circumstance, somebody says something to you, then you're going to say, see, I knew I couldn't get the commitment. Okay, if they start saying, hey, I don't want to hang out on, this weekend, your mind's going to make the connection of, oh, it's because they don't want a commitment with me. Do you see what I'm saying? So that core assumption is like that umbrella or a main idea, and all those other thoughts are going to stem from that core assumption. That's why we want to change what that assumption is, because it's going to be what your thoughts are. It's going to be how you perceive the world. And it's also going to be the circumstances that are manifested back to you. And it's the way you perceive them. Okay, because you're going to make everything make that mean whatever you see in your reality. Well, look, that shows that they don't want that commitment. It shows that I can never get commitment. It shows I'm always going to be single. Whatever assumption you are making around that, if that's your core assumption. Okay, so we really need to control and observe what our core beliefs are and what our assumptions are, because that's what's being, that's how you're manifesting your reality. So you see something, okay, in your reality, you've already manifested it, then you react to it, you perceive it a different way, and it has to meet that assumption that you've created. Okay, that rule of, okay, nobody ever wants to commit to me. I can never get the commitment. People I want to commit to don't want to commit to me. Changing, those are just various different ways of saying the same thing. So that's going to be that assumption. So therefore, your mind's going to connect those dots in every single way. Your perception is going to be connected that way. Your circumstances are going to be mirrored back to you because of that. So that's why you want to go in and really be on, be consciously aware of what you're thinking, what your inner conversations are. Because, I used to think people didn't overhear what I was thinking, but they are. People are always overhearing us because there's thought transmission. It's how it works, where everybody's you pushed out. I can do more videos on that later on, but for this video, I just want to talk about the fact that you think what you're repeating all day long, you think that it's not harming somebody. You think that, that negative talk that you're saying about yourself and you berating yourself and thinking you need to change, or you thinking this other person's so awful. You think those inner speech isn't manifesting. It is. Okay, so you really want to be aware of what you're dominantly placing your attention on. Okay, dominantly start becoming more aware of it and then redirecting yourself. So if the assumption is, hey, no one wants to commit to me, or the people I want to commitment with don't want to commit to me. As soon as that assumption arises, as soon as those circumstances arise, as soon as those thoughts arise, as soon as those feelings arise, you're going to realize, oh my gosh, that's coming from that mean assumption. Let me change my inner speech to match my desired end, which is everybody loves me. People want to commit to me. Using that as an analogy. But you can use anything, you can interchange that for anything there. So I'm going to read something from Neville Goddard here as well to support this. And it says, man attracts what he is. The art of life is to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled and let things come to you, not to go after them or think they'll flee away. So again, it's like things are coming to you, attracting, you're actually really creating it based on your conception of yourself and based on that assumption. So if my assumption is, and I'm relating to the fact that, people don't commit to me, then that's what I'm going to bring in. Those versions of people that aren't going to commit to me, that are going to treat me this way. Okay. And they're not separate from me. Okay. They're all coming in based on my conception of how reality works, and those are rules that I'm making up based on that assumption. Okay. Observe your inner talking and remember your aim. Okay. So your aim is going to be your desired end. So if your aim is to have, a healthy relationship with somebody, or for someone to contact you all the time, that's your aim. All right. So your aim is going to be, what is your desired end? And do you have any assumptions surrounding that that's not going to give you your desired end? Are you having that inner speech where you're saying, oh, look, they've always done this to me. Oh, they're so bad at this. Or they are awful communicators. They're selfish. They don't care about me. Those inner speech is going to support that fact that they're not going to want to commit to you or communicate with you. So therefore, you're not living from your desired end when you're having those inner speech. It's not matching your aim. It's not matching your desired end. It's not just enough to affirm in the morning or 3 times a day if the rest of your day is spent in this inner conversation of arguing against what you want, having those inner conversations that this isn't going to happen and this is why, and this negative self-talk. Okay. And this has always happened before, it's going to happen again. Those sort of things need to be nipped in the bud. So he goes on, do they match? Does your inner talking match what you would say audibly had you achieved your goal? Wow. Okay. So would it? And this is no judgment. I mean, I've not been perfect at this my whole entire life either. Because we're human beings. Nobody told us this, right? So we're learning this and shifting into a new paradigm and a new way of thinking. And geez, could you imagine if we knew this at an earlier age, how different our lives would be? But anyway, it's okay. So we're changing it now. So the fact is, if you have that aim, if you have that desired end in this, let's say that, contact with your specific person all the time, what would you say out loud? Because you want to make sure that your inner speech is matching that. Oh, my person's calling me all the time. I love how much we talk. I feel so great. He would, drop everything to call me. He's just texting me all day long. He's blowing up my phone, or she is, you'd be saying that. So you want to make sure that your inner speech isn't saying, where is it? They suck. Why do I suck? Why don't people ever want to contact me? What are they doing? They must be busy. I must not be important enough. I always text people. Why don't they text me back? Do they not like me? Did I do something wrong? Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have said that. Okay, these are just examples of inner speech that I've noticed with working with people. Because again, I'm not new to manifesting. I've been doing this I've been manifesting for over a decade, studying it, and I've actually been coaching people for the last 5 or 6 years. So anyway, that inner speech, can you relate to that inner speech, you guys, or relate to something like that? Okay, do you see how that's gonna contradict your aim? And again, this is no judges. This is just, we just need to awaken, our mind. Like, what are we saying all day? Start being aware of it, because we know it's shaping our reality. So again, as Neville Goddard said here, does your inner talking match what you would say audibly had you achieved your goal? And I've already given you some examples. So, just take some time and think about that. Look through the day. Is it achieving that? If not, no big deal. Just start being more observant of what you're thinking inside, okay, what you're saying to yourself, because we can't stop talking to ourselves. We can't. When we die, it's the last thing that goes is our brain cells. That's what people remember their near-death experiences. Okay, so remember, you can control your inner speech. You can, and you're able. Even make those intentions that you're able to do that. The individual inner speech and actions attract the conditions of his life. So again, if you're continuously saying all those other examples I gave before, that's why your life is not changing, because the majority of your time is living those fear-based negative thoughts and talking yourself out of what you want, or this is how it's always been, or this is the past, or, which is fine. Your subconscious mind is there to help protect you, but we can override that, okay, by consciously choosing new thoughts, consciously choosing new assumptions. Like I said before, if it's a commitment thing, you're going to change it. I always get a commitment. People always want to commit to me. Make sure your assumption is changed there, okay? Or if it's a communication piece, we're always in communication. Whatever your aim is, you want to make sure that your inner speech throughout the day is matching that, okay? Because again, if you're saying it 3 or 4 times a day, just your affirmations, but the rest of the day, you're saying things like I've already said, they're too busy. I'm not a priority. Everybody else is more important than me. Of course, they're with their boys instead of me. Oh, they're probably playing video games. You know what? They talk to everybody else. Maybe they're on social media. Oh my gosh, why does this always happen to me? I call people back. Why don't they call me back? Did I do something wrong? Okay, again, I'm just giving you an example of that inner speech. That's going to cancel out those couple different affirmations that you made in the morning, okay? Hopefully this is making sense. He goes on to say, Neville Goddard goes on to say, through uncritical self-observation of your inner talking, you will find where you are in the inner world, and where you are in the inner world is where you are in the outer world. You put on the new man whenever ideals and inner speech match. In this way alone, you can be a new man, be born. Okay, so he's talking about, if you know anything about Neville Goddard, he's talking about old man versus new man. It's just like, are you going to take on this new identity? So if you want this commitment, or if you want this communication, are you looking at that assumption, and are you making sure that assumption is aligned with your goal, with your aim? Are you watching your inner speech through the day? Are you making sure that they are, matching up? Because they have to match up. And again, he said your outer world is shaped from your inner world. So it's all coming within based on our inner talkings. And like I said before, we can't stop talking to ourselves. What we can do is start consciously choosing different things that we want to hear. I also remember Neville Goddard had he had a student, I think it was a student, was coming to him, talking to him about she wanted her boss, that she wanted her boss to actually compliment her. And he asked her, well, I bet you're arguing with him all day in your mind about your limitations and why he doesn't think you're very good at this, and why, your own thoughts about it yourself, and just so you're arguing with him. Is that right? And she's like, yeah. He's like, well, why don't you stop for a couple of days and start hearing what you want to hear? I'm just paraphrasing this. And she did that, and all of a sudden her life changed. She started complimenting her on everything that she wanted. So that's what you want to do. You want to start being uncritical of what you're saying. Like, I'm not saying you want to berate yourself and be like, oh my God, here I go again, I suck. No, it's like, oh my gosh, I caught that. That's awesome. I can see my assumption. I'm becoming more aware of my assumption. It's not matching my aim. Let me stop arguing for my limitations. Let me stop arguing limitations. Let me stop arguing for why I don't think I'm going to get. Let me stop saying this person's this way. Let me start, because it's all, going to the assumption of people don't communicate or people don't commit. You're going to start watching those, things coming down from the umbrella, those different ideas, those different circumstances, and you're going to choose different thoughts. Okay, you're going to start observing yourself uncritically, so you're not criticizing yourself as you're doing this. You're just being observant, okay? And how I do that is kind of detaching from the emotion. Remember, these circumstances aren't you. You are just pure consciousness. And then he goes on to say, Neville Goddard goes on to say, the circumstances and conditions of life are outpictured inner talking, solidified sound, inner speech calls events into existence. In every event is the creative sound that is its life and being. All that a man believes and consents to is true reveals itself in his inner speech. So again, I think that's so important because it's going to be like the uncritical thing. What are you agreeing to in your inner speech? You know, being aware of what you're saying, okay? And that's the first part. You have to be consciously aware of what you're saying. And if it's not matching your aim, to change it, all right? And at least, you know, try for 5 days. Try for a couple of days. See if your life will change. It will. I'm telling you from experience, it will. And he goes on to say, to change your life, you must change your inner talking, okay? And again, it's just the truth. And give it a whirl. If you don't believe me, give it a whirl. Just try it for a couple days. Try it for a week. If you can't do it for a week, try for a couple days. You know, stop arguing for your limitations. Start like arguing for why you can have everything. Stop talking negatively about yourself. Watch that inner speech because it is shaping your outer world, because everything is just a mirror, and those circumstances will change as soon as you start changing that inner speech, okay? But again, you also are going to want to see yourself as somebody who's able to have this, okay? So, you know, also give this to yourself. You're able to have these sort of things. Even if you've never seen these things before, you're able to. All right, and you don't have to believe in it either, okay? You're just creating a new reality for yourself. You're creating something new because your inner speech has always been creating. And so if you don't like it, you just want to change your inner speech by changing those assumptions, those core belief assumptions, because I've explained how those are pictured, how those like lead to something else. So you really want to get to that core belief of that as well. And if you guys need help for that, I'm more than willing to help you. So just check out that description, the link below. And again, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss a video that I put out, and comment below if you'd love to. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for taking time to tune in to this video. I intend it was helpful, and I intend that you're able to take your manifestations to the next level so you can manifest in your reality what you want, because you deserve it. All right, guys, thanks.